I graduated from NYU Courant with a Master's in Computer Science in 2023. Whether you've already applied for an MS or you already have an admit, there's factors beyond the usual SOP, LOR, GRE, TOEFL, etc. that you haven't considered. And I'm here to help you with that. It's fascinating that out of the 6 factors that I'll be going into in this video, every factor will give you a different perspective, but it will not give you the same college decision after every factor. So let's get into it. Number 1, your closeness to the industry. So yes, the world has become more connected and virtual, but some of the old ways still remain. So the location of your university does make a bit of a difference. For example, if you were to work in finance, then staying in New York or Chicago or closer to New York or Chicago would be a better choice. Versus if you wanted to be closer to big tech, then Seattle, San Francisco are better choices. And this is the data talking as well, especially for early career roles. Now there is a small catch to it, which is that if you study at MIT, Stanford, or any of the really good prestigious universities, the better the university, the less of a factor it is, because people do want to hire from these good universities, so they are not going to make a big fuss about the location. But being closer does help. Number 2, living costs. So if you decide to stay in big cities hoping for a more happening life, it does come with its costs. Like if you stay in New York, Chicago, LA, they're more expensive cities with a lot more things happening in them in terms of entertainment and just the number of people. But again, it's going to be expensive because you have to pay rent, you have groceries, everything adds up. Versus if you decide to stay in a place like Gainesville, Florida, or somewhere like Penn State, cost is far cheaper, you get better apartments, you get better deals, and you get better tuition as well. You know your personal finances better, so it's better for you to evaluate all your expenses, compare cities. There is a website, it's called numbeo.com. You can compare which city is more expensive and what all factors. It gives you a general estimate, but it's pretty good to get an idea of what the expenses are going to be like. Number 3, the UK High Potential Visa. If you've graduated from the top 50 universities in the world, you are eligible for the UK High Potential Visa that allows you to work in the UK for 2 years. This is a good option in case you don't land a job after completing your MS degree in the US and you don't want to go back to your home country. The list of these universities keeps updating every year, so be sure to check out their website. Again, top universities do tend to be more expensive if you don't get a scholarship, which is even harder to get. So do consider that as a factor. Number 4, built-in work options. Some universities like Northeastern University have built-in co-op programs or internship programs that allow you to work for 4 to 6 months. And there are really good advantages to this. The first advantage is that you have a chance to prove yourself to the company that you're interning at, giving you a really high chance of getting a return offer. Advantage number 2, those 4 to 6 months when you're interning, they help you pay a lot of your expenses because they're not even charging you credits for that program, and you make a lot of money out of it. There is one disadvantage to this program, is that it's very hard to get these co-ops. Also, look at TA/RA options at your university because they do help you cover a lot of expenses, and some of them are really valuable experiences. Like if you get a good research opportunity to work in a lab in your relevant field, that really boosts your resume. Number 5, the campus versus street campus vibe. If you're looking for a more city-based vibe and where students just come to class and then they go back to the city or whatever, and there isn't much of a campus life, then a university like NYU makes more sense. The city campus life forces you to live a more city life versus a more student life. On the other hand, if you're looking for a more college town vibe, then a place like Penn State or Duke suit you better. It's a personal preference, so choose what you like. I wanted a more city life, so I decided to go with NYU. I did have the option to go to other places where there was a more college to campus based life, but I've already had that in my undergrad. Number 6, and not at all to be taken lightly, the weather. If you're the kind of person who does not like any sort of cold weather, then a place like Minnesota, or like even for that matter New York City, is going to be a little difficult for you because we have snowstorms, the sun sets at 4 o'clock, and overall it gets cold. If that's not your vibe, if you're the kind to get seasonal depression, then do consider this as a major factor because this will affect your day-to-day life. The cold season lasts about 3 to 4 months of a year, so do consider that. If you're the kind of person who does not like the heat, then maybe going to Texas or Arizona is not in your favor. You could check out places like LA or San Francisco where the weather fluctuations are not so bad. Finally, like I told you before, you can't get the best of all these factors in one. For example, if you choose Colombia, you get the vibrant life of New York City and the more opportunities that are present in New York City. But you also get the expenses and the cold weather over here. On the other hand, if you decide to go to the University of Florida in Gainesville, the cost of tuition and living expenses is significantly lower and you get a more campus-based life. But you're not close to big cities and you are also not eligible for the UK high potential visa since the University of Florida is not in the top 50 universities. If you need any more questions answered, put them in the comments. I'm happy to help you out and I'll try to answer each and every question I can. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and I hope to help you out in the future. Take care.